Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 294. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today, family, we have an outstanding show in store for you. Today, guys, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be doing part one of a two-part show. This is the first time in all 294 episodes that we've actually done a part one and part two. And today's show topic, family, is why and how to build your micro media company for massive profits. Why and how to build your micro media company for massive profits. And today on part one, we're going to focus on the why. Next week on part two, we're going to focus on the how. And the reason I broke this up, guys, it was kind of too long and I didn't want to get everything bunched up together. So I wanted to make it part one and part two so it can be more clarity in terms of the message and also the actionable steps. So we're going to talk about why and how to build your micro media company for massive profits, part one. Now, before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to give you all of my social media contact information and resource links, such as my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses, and also my two platforms to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community. Also, family, I just wanted to remind you, if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, come check your boy Jay Jones out at the State of Black Charlotte event, which is Saturday, March 14th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Carol Hoffner Center at 615 East 6th Street in Charlotte. This is going to be a great event, guys. It's going to be a lot of vendors. It's going to be a lot of speakers and a lot of education for the Black community. So I'm going to be speaking about how to build a six-figure business. My workshop is free, so make sure you check it out. You can go to www.stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com and you can register for the tickets. I believe the admission to the whole event is $20 and my workshop is free. So once again, stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com. I love to see any BEB members out in the area. Once again, Saturday, March 14th. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the State of Black Charlotte. Looking forward to seeing the BEB family members out there and supporting the event. Okay, family, let's get into today's episode titled Why and How to Build Your Micro Media Company for Massive Profits, Part 1. Once again, we're going to do the Part 1, which is the why. And next week, we'll finish up with Part 2, which is the how. All right, so first and foremost, let me just define for you what a media company is. And I'm going to define a large media company versus a micro media company. So if you think of large media companies, you can look at Comcast, which owns NBC Universal. You can also look at Disney, which owns ESPN and a whole bunch of other properties. So those are multinational conglomerates versus a micro media company, which is a company that owns one or several entities that creates, repurposes, or combines content or breaking news or date-based content. All right, I'm going to repeat that. A micro media company owns one or several entities that creates, repurposes, and or combines content or breaking news or date-based content. So, for example, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, that's one entity that could be considered as a micro media company on the podcast platform. Okay, so what we're really going to focus on today, guys, is the opportunity that is available creating micro media companies or a micro media company. And once again, that could be a combination of several entities, a podcast, a blog, and a YouTube channel. It could be a blog post. And I'm going to give you some examples of some successful micro media companies as we go along. The first thing I want to do is I want to set the stage about where we are right now in terms of technology. So I talked about this on a couple weeks ago on one of the other episodes about the ability or the greatest wealth transfer this world has ever seen is going to be coming in the next 10 years. That's my true belief. Right now, because of the technology and the things that are here and also what's coming in the future. So if you started your business like I did 25 years ago, the only way you could get some leverage and get traction was to be on a radio program, to advertise on radio, or be blessed to get interviewed on radio, advertise on television or get interviewed on television, or run ads in the newspaper or get interviewed in the newspaper. That's called old media. Now we have new media. And to be able to leverage this new media to build a media company is right there, literally at your fingertips. So once again, when I started 20 plus years ago as an entrepreneur, if I had the technology and the opportunity that's out there today, I would have been a millionaire in probably 3 to 5 years. That's because now you can reach the whole world literally at your fingertips. So you don't have to depend on spending $10,000 to advertise in the newspaper, $25,000 to advertise on television, $8,000 to advertise on radio. You can take control of that. And we're going to talk about today how to leverage content to be able to build your micro media company for massive profits. And so this is the new media. So guys, definitely take advantage and leverage that. So the technology of the day is your friend. Okay. So it's even to the point right now, if you have Roku or a smart television, you can create your own Roku TV show. All right. Now, the question is who's going to go watch it, because you have to put the app up there, whatever your TV show app is. So there's a lot of people out there that are creating their own television shows on Roku or Amazon's Fire Stick. And the depth that Roku and Amazon touch in terms of people that actually use those type of tools. So if you had a popular show, a TV show, you could create your own app, upload it to Roku, and people all over the world could actually watch your television show. The question is, are you going to have the traffic? And we're going to talk about some of that too. More so the why and not necessarily the how, but we'll touch on that earlier before we get off the show. So being able to create a micro media company, guys, it's a huge marketing opportunity, once again, for the long game. It's not a get rich quick scheme. So today we're going to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons and how to monetize that. So first we want to talk about in terms of media, there's print, there's digital, there's audio. In terms of print, we have magazines and books. In terms of audio, we have podcasts, radio shows. In terms of digital, you have blogs, you have videos. Once again, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, YouTube and all of that good stuff. And you can host your own videos too. A lot of people have a YouTube channel, which is great. Once again, you don't control that platform. So there are other providers out there such as Vimeo, Vimeo.com, that can host your own videos on your own site. Once again, YouTube is a top search database right behind Google. All right. So once again, if you have a YouTube channel and you have a great content, you'll probably get found just by organic search. But we'll get into that later. So we want to talk about the pros and the cons of how to build your micro media company for massive profit. And I'm just going to start with the cons real quick. Get these out the way. Number one, it could be time consuming. Also, it could be labor intensive, and you could come into legal liabilities. All right. So, for example, if you create or write a story and the story turns out to be wrong or detrimental to somebody, people can sue you. So you have to be very careful in terms of the content you put out there. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of sites and micro media companies that are doing a bang up job. Now, there's some companies out there, guys, that really, and I've talked about this before, just aggregate content. And aggregate means just bring to one place. So there's a site called the Drudge Report, DRUDGE report.com. And all it is a bunch of links to news stories. You click on the link, it takes you right out to the news story. All it does is aggregate, meaning bringing something to one place where you can find everything you need. I talked before about curation. Curation is different from aggregation in the sense that the content it's aggregated, but it's also curated, meaning that you're going to go through the content and not just put everything that you aggregate, but you're going to go through the content and put up the good stuff that your audience wants to read or look at or whatever. So once again, curation, just think about a museum. When you go into a museum, be it an art museum, a history museum or whatever, the contents in the museum are not owned by the museum. They curate that content, meaning they go out and get that content. So you'll see, 1 month they may be doing Egyptian mummies. The next month it may be something else, but they curate and bring that content in to one place. They make sure that it's quality content so you can go in the museum and look at whatever they bring in. So that's the difference between aggregation and curation. Aggregation is just bringing everything in. Curation is aggregating and then being very decisive or picky about what you're going to allow your customers to see. All right. So once again, there's a tremendous money-making opportunity by building a micro media company. All right. So let's go over some of the pros, and I'm not going to get too far into all of these because there's a lot of them are self-explanatory. Then I'm going to give you some examples. Some of the pros of building a micro media company are low barrier to entry. That can also be a con. Because the easier it is for somebody to get in, that means a lot of people can get in. The difference is many people don't have that stick-to-itiveness that's going to make them successful because, once again, this is a long game. This isn't something that happens overnight. And I believe a lot of us have that ADD syndrome. If something doesn't pop off real quick, we stop doing it. So that could be a benefit to you. So it's a low barrier to entry. So if you want to start a blog site or a YouTube channel, it does not take a lot of money to do that. Low startup costs. Once again, you want to create a blog, you get a domain name, you get a host, you get a WordPress site, bam, and you're up and running. Less than $25. All right. Limited operating costs. So once again, you can operate this business on a very low budget. So now if you get to the point where you need editors and videographers and things of that nature, that means that you're making money, which is a good thing. But you can do this on your own to start. Right? A huge market opportunity, meaning that if you create a site, and I'm going to give you some examples, guys. If you create a site that people refer to as an authority site, or they come to for certain information, like I'll give you a site that everybody knows, like the Shade Room, right? The Shade Room right now gets over 1.3 million people visiting their website each month. Okay, the monetization comes from advertising and also sponsorship. And I think they have some affiliate links in there. And the Shade Room is just gossip, black gossip. Okay, so it's a huge market opportunity. And next week we're going to talk about the how, and you're going to determine who are you trying to serve, who is your market. Okay, and we'll talk about that next week. All right. Also, one of the other pros is you can own and control multiple content sites. So, for example, I have Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the actual website. I have Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast. I have Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the Facebook page. So you can control multiple sites. Okay. You can own and control multiple sites. All right. This is also perfect for young entrepreneurs. So a lot of times I know people like to journal. My daughter journals and she's created a blog. And so if you're a young entrepreneur and you like to write and like to journal, once again, this is a long game. So it's about content. You can start journaling, not necessarily looking to make money right away, but creating that content. And that's what you're going to need. Also, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So media companies have been around for hundreds of years. Now, obviously, there's new media, so it's a little different than it was before. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Also, you can do this as a serial or a solo entrepreneur. So you don't have to be or have a great big staff or anything of that nature. You can be a solo entrepreneur and create a blog. All right. Now, just so happens that the Shade Room, my oldest daughter went to school with and is very good friends with the young lady who created, she's good friends with the sister of the young lady that created the Shade Room. And it was just started as a blog, getting her thoughts out, and now it's turned into a multi-million-dollar business. Okay. So you can do it as a solopreneur. Now, she has a couple of employees now, but she started out by herself. Okay. It also allows you to build a customer database. And like I said, guys, your biggest asset as a business is your database. Okay. How many people are on your database? You need a list. Okay. Once again, when I tell people when they're looking to get into e-commerce, a lot of times you'll hear about people doing these $1 million launches, these product launches or whatever. And the only thing is they have a big list. So if you have a list of 1 million people versus a list of 1,000 people, it's just a function of the numbers. A certain percentage are going to buy or take you up on your offer. The question is, how many people do you have in your database? So when you build a micro media company, you can build that database. Also, you get to disseminate information and create your own narratives. Now, this is very important for us as a people, because the major media outlets, most of their views aren't from our perspective. They're from the Caucasian perspective because they're the ones that own all the media. Okay, we got Radio 1, TV 1, and other stuff out there like that. But the predominant main media, ABC, CBS, NBC, those are white owned, and their reflections of what you see on television are from people that don't look like us. So we get to disseminate the information and create our own narratives. I think I talked about this before about supporting black-owned media. We got to have it, family. We got to have it. And it all boils down to economics. And I'm going to say this until they put me under the dirt. Economics controls everything. It controls politics, which controls policy. It controls media, meaning it controls what we see, what the narratives are out there. It controls education. It controls everything. Okay, so we get to disseminate information and create our own narratives. You can also become a thought leader. Okay, so if you have a podcast or blog out there about saving money or whatever, you can become a thought leader. People can follow what you're doing. Okay, so there's a lot of thought leaders out there right now, like in personal finance, like Dave Ramsey. A lot of people follow him. He's a thought leader. Okay, so you can become a thought leader. All right. Another thing is, guys, we're going to start getting to the nitty gritty right now. And if you have your own micro media company, family, one of the greatest benefits that you're going to have is you don't have to pay for advertising. You will not have to pay for advertising because, once again, you're building up your database. So, for example, and I gave you this example earlier. So back in the day when I got into entrepreneurship, I either had to pay the radio, the TV, or the newspaper to put ads in there. Now, if I create content and I draw people into my content, now I can sell my products and or services to the people in my database that come to my content. Think about certain websites that you go to every day, right? Now I go to ESPN.com every day, check out the latest scores. I also go to a lot of the fight websites like FightHype.com, Fight Hub TV, Dante's Boxing Nation. So I'll go check them out. And a lot of those are video-based YouTube channels. But I go there probably at least once every other day just to get updates. Okay. So now if they're selling something on those sites and it's something that I want, guess what? I have a higher propensity to buy it because I'm familiar with the sites. I trust their content. Okay, so one of the greatest benefits is if you create a micro media company, you don't have to pay for advertising. Yes, you can always advertise your products or services, but if you have a big enough database, you're not going to have to pay for advertising. So I'm doing a Brand Builder Academy right now with about 13 or 14 people. And right now we're building our database. We're focusing on running ads and building a database. But if you have the content already there, you don't have to run ads. A perfect example is one of the good brothers in there is in the cigar. He's like a cigar aficionado. and he wanted to run ads to sell a humidor and different things. But Facebook, Google, they don't let you sell, they don't let you advertise tobacco content. So you can't advertise cigarettes, cigars, vaping stuff. So if you're in that space, the only way you're going to get traction is you're going to have to create a micro media company or a site that talks about cigars. Like I know there's a big site out there called Cigar Aficionado, and they do reviews of cigars and all of that. Now, people go to their site, they can sell them. Now, they can't advertise the tobacco and selling cigars, but if people just go to their site, they'll be able to sell them. So content is king, guys. All right. And we're going to talk about the how next week. Today, we're talking about the why you want to build your micro media company for massive profits. Next week, we're going to talk about how to build your micro media company for massive profits. All right. Now, the next benefit is you own the data. OK, so if you have a blog, right, and you have people signing up, you own that data. People sign up, you own it. So if you sell something on Amazon, I say this a lot of times, too. Amazon has the traffic. The only drawback, well, there's several drawbacks, but one of the biggest drawbacks is you don't get those email addresses. So if you're selling a product on Amazon, somebody buys it, you get the notification in your back office. And if you want to contact that person that just bought it, it's an encrypted email that you have to go through to send an email to that customer. You don't know what that customer's email address is because it's Amazon's customer. It's not your customer. So you want to own the data. OK, now I talk about real estate all the time, but y'all don't sleep on digital real estate. OK, so when you have your domain name, say you have a blog that's connected to your micro media company, you may have a blog, a podcast, and a YouTube channel. That is digital real estate. It's real, family. Digital real estate is real. I've got over 200 domain names. And the reason I get them is if I think of a concept or I think up something or a possible business, I'm going to go and buy that domain name, sit on it just in case I decide to create that type of business or that business per se for that name. So I told this story before, but years ago, I had a domain name, Event Marketing Inc., inc.com. I get an email from this attorney that says, hey, my client wants to buy Event Marketing Inc. He has a company in Massachusetts. I think it was like a ticket company or something of that nature back then. Excuse me. A ticket company or something of that nature back then. And I wasn't even using it. It was something I was going to use, but I never used it. I had the domain probably about a year or so. So I'm thinking this guy is BSing around. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Contact my attorney. So I contacted my attorney. I said, yo, man, I don't know if this is legit or not, but can you contact this guy for me? So my attorney contacted him, and my attorney got back to me. He was like, yo, man, this dude sounds serious. They want to know what you want for the website. So off the top of my head, I just said $10,000. Okay. So my attorney gets back to his attorney, and he was like, yo, he said, Jay, man, they're down with it. We're going to set up the actual transfer of the domain, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn, they was down that quick. I was like, I should have said $25,000 or something like that. $10,000. I gave my attorney $500 basically for making a phone call. And I walked away with $9,500. So don't sleep on that real estate. That's digital real estate. OK. Also, another benefit is owning your own platform. And I just talked about that. So I say this all the time, too, guys. So I know social media is great. All right. But you don't own that platform. All right. How many people have gotten kicked off of Facebook, Instagram or whatever? They may have changed the algorithm on Instagram. And I've seen people lose businesses and close down businesses because the only data they had was social media data. Facebook likes, Instagram followers, Twitter followers. Your thing gets shut down, you out of business. Emails. Make sure you get the email address. And after that, text messaging. Okay. So I use a service called Simple Texting. And so when I say in the outro, if you connect with me, whatever, text BEB to 555-888. Now I have your phone number. Okay, so if I want to send out information, you can do it that way too. So own your database and own your platform. All right, now, the biggest thing we want to talk about now is the monetization of your media company. So once again, I started off by saying there's a huge marketing opportunity if you play the long game. If you play the long game, this is not a get rich quick overnight. It takes time and it takes, you got to build up content. Okay, so before we get to the monetization aspect, though, let me give you a couple of examples of sites that are up there or micro media companies that are making money. All right. One of the ones that really surprised me, and I actually met the guy that owns this site. It's called Dogingtonpost.com, like Washington Post, Dogington, Dogington Post.com. Let me just give you some numbers. Each month, this site only gets 142,000 visits a month, but he monetizes anywhere from $40,000 to $45,000 a month in revenues. And he does it by affiliate sites. He does it by selling his own products. And we're going to talk about the monetization. Now, once again, that's a blog site. It's only 142,000 visits a month. And he's monetizing at the tune of $45,000 a month from a site that really just compiles information about dogs. Now, pets are a great topic because kids and pet people love their kids and they're going to spend money on their kids. People love their pets just like family. So they're going to spend money on pets. So it's a very good subject matter, very good topic. Okay. Dogingtonpost.com. You can check it out. All right. 142,000 visits a month average, $45,000 in revenue each month average. All right. Now, another blog called Dogster, Dogster. Similar type site. Now they get 1.1 million actual visitors to that site. Dogster, Dogster.com. Another site about dogs. 1.1 million views a month. I don't know what their monetization is, but I've gone on the site and I've seen a lot of affiliate products and I've seen a lot of services and stuff that they sell. So if Dogington Post is only getting 142,000 views a month and they're getting 1.1 million views a month, I'm pretty sure that they're doing a nice piece of change each month in terms of revenues. Okay. And this is just an example of a blog. Also, the Shade Room. I gave you that example. All right. My daughter's friend's sister started the Shade Room out in LA. 1.33 million visitors a month. Black gossip, right? Same thing with MediaTakeout.com. Another blog. 972,000 people visit per month on average. 972,000 people visit. Now, you can do AdSense, you can do affiliate products, you can do sponsored ads, and we'll go into the monetization later. Next, World Star Hip Hop. 57.4 million people visit worldstarhiphop.com each month. 57 million. Do you understand if they just run Google AdSense, how much money they're going to make on that site? It's crazy. Vlad TV, basically it's a YouTube channel. 6.37 million visitors a month. Vlad TV, all right, which is basically a YouTube channel. So I've given you an example of a YouTube channel and some blog posts and stuff like that. But those are micro media companies. Now, years ago, before the internet and the technological revolution, it would be damn near impossible for people sitting in their basement to create micro media companies such as this. But that's why I'm telling you guys, if you start now, in a year, 2 years, 5 years, or whatever, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And we're going to talk about cashing out too. Now, before we close to the end of the show, and we're going to talk about the monetization, I just want to share a couple things with the BEB family. I want to give you my social media contact information and also all my resource links. So, and then we're going to close out with the monetization, which is probably the biggest reason y'all are listening to this right now. All right. Once again, guys, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. So if you're interested in a print version, go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy. Print version is $14.95 plus shipping and handling. The digital version is $9.95, and that's good for Kindle and any e-readers. So that's anewblackwallstreet.com. Make sure you pick yourself up a copy. Now, if you need additional assistance building your successful, sustainable e-commerce business, I've created a compatible online course titled educatedecommerce.com. Just go to educatedecommerce.com and you can enroll in the course. Now, I mentioned to you guys earlier about two platforms I created to help circulate black dollars in the worldwide economy. The first one is besmartbyblack.com, besmartbyblack.com. So if you are a black product producer who wants to sell your products to black consumers worldwide, upload your product information. It is free. Just go to besmartbyblack.com and upload it, and now you can connect with black consumers worldwide. Now, if you are a freelancer, if you do anything on Fiverr.com or freelancer.com, I've created a site for you titled hireblackfreelancers.com, HIRE, blackfreelancers.com. Once again, this is also free to upload your information. So if you are a freelancer and you want to connect with black consumers and black businesses worldwide, go to hireblackfreelancers.com and upload your information. Now, I told you guys that I'm speaking in Charlotte on March 14th. So if you want me to come out to speak at any college, high school, event, organization, church, please go to bookjjones.com, fill out the short form, and I'll get right back to you. bookjjones.com, and I will get right back to you. Now, I know that's a mouthful, right? So if you go to BEB Connect, all of that information will be there. That is a page on my website, BEB Connect, that has all my resource links and also all my social media contacts, which I'm about to give you right now. So if you want to email me anything long, just email me at jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, hit me at jjones001. Instagram, that's jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, please, family, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got new and additional content that comes out on YouTube that is not on the podcast. Yes, the podcast does come out on YouTube, but I have additional content. So go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. All right. Also, if you want to be included in the BEB text line for notifications and reminders about special events, text BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, BEB to 555-888, BEB to 555-888. Also, LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Just go in LinkedIn, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Connect with me there. And once again, all of this information, my resource links and all my contact information and the last show episode is on bebconnect.com. That's the easiest way to go, bebconnect.com. And you can scroll down the page and you can link up with me on social media, and there are links to all my resources. All right, let's get to the monetization aspect of your micro media company. Now, the first way you can monetize your site, if you have a blog, it's called Google AdSense, which they actually changed now to Google Ads. So when people come to your site, you can contract out with Google to allow them to actually share ads or put ads on your site. And if people click on those ads, you'll get a small percentage of what they paid to run those ads. So now, obviously, it's a function of the numbers. If you have 1 million people visiting your site each month, you're going to make a decent amount of change. If you have 10 people visiting your site each month, you're probably not going to make anything. All right. So it's a function of, once again, how popular your site is. The next thing is affiliate sales. So let's use this as an example. And an affiliate sale basically is a sale that you get paid for by referring somebody else's product or service. So let's just say I had a website that was all about grilling, barbecuing and grilling, right? So say, for example, I had an article about some of the best grills out there, the top 5 best grills for 2020 or 2021. And I'll go and identify those grills, and I'll have a link in my blog post to an Amazon page for those grills. So say the first grill, the top grill was some Weber grill, whatever it is, and I'd have a link there and it would go directly to the Amazon sales page. So if somebody's reading my article on my blog and they click that link to that Weber grill, they go to Amazon and buy that grill, I'll get a percentage of the sales price or whatever they buy that day. Not just for the grill, actually. So if they put other stuff in their cart and check out, I'll get the same, percentage on that too. So normally the average affiliate, and this is just for Amazon, the average affiliate commission is anywhere from 8 to 12%. So say that Weber grill was $300, and just say an average you're making 10%, that would be $30 that you would make just off of that affiliate link. Now, there are other affiliate links. There's another platform out there called ClickBank, ClickBank. And all that is an affiliate marketplace. So you can find products in all types of different categories to sell through clickbank.com. So if you're doing something on fitness, they may have a product, a digital product, or actually a physical product that you can talk about in one of your ads. And if people click on that, you'll make a percentage on that affiliate link also. So affiliate links, affiliate sales is another way to monetize. Okay, sponsored content. This is more focused on blogs. Well, actually, you can do it on YouTube too. So sponsored content. So if you have a blog post on grilling and barbecuing, and say a barbecue sauce company comes to you and says, man, we want to run and do an article on your site. That's a sponsored ad or sponsored content. So they would pay you to let them write an article that you would place on your blog post. And you can do that also in YouTube and in videos. So if you're doing a video series on something, you can actually say, hey, this is sponsored by ABC barbecue sauce or whatever. Same thing on a podcast. You hear that all the time. So sponsored content. All right. Sponsored content and sponsored ads, pretty much the same thing. Another way to make money, obviously, is selling your own products and or services. So let's take the example of that Weber grill we talked about on the barbecue website. All right, grilling website. So say once again, the Weber grill sells for $300, and you're like, man, this grill is selling like crazy. People are coming to my page, they're clicking on the link, and I'm getting a lot of affiliate sales. So one of the things you can do, and I do this, is I replace that Weber grill with my grill. Okay. Now, Weber grill costs $300. Maybe I have a very similar, just like a Weber grill, for $150. Okay. It may cost me $50 to have a manufacturer make it. I sell it for $150. I make $100. Now, that's versus an affiliate link. So if it sells for $300, the Weber grill, and I'm only getting 10% from Amazon, that means I only made $30. So $30 versus $100. So sometimes you can replace your affiliate products that are selling well and sell your own products. Okay. Now you want to sell your own products or services anyway. Okay. As long as you have them and they're good products or services, if you're driving people, that's one of the benefits, guys, to having a micro media company. If you're driving people to your content, hell, you might as well sell them something, right? All right. So selling your own products. Banner ads is another way to sell. Most people don't really, click on banner ads anymore. But hell, if you got the website and somebody wants to buy a banner ad, go ahead and sell it to them. Okay. Another one is selling premium content. So, for example, I belong to ESPN Plus, right? So there's the regular ESPN, and then there's ESPN Plus that has premium content. So if you go to ESPN.com, some of the articles will say, they'll give you a little bit of the article, but it says ESPN Plus, a little yellow thing. That means unless you're an ESPN Plus member, you're not going to be able to read that content. Also, since I'm a fight fan, ESPN has a lot of fights on ESPN Plus. So I have to pay $4.99 a month for the premium content. So you can sell premium content behind a membership wall. And speaking of membership, you can also do something like a subscription or membership subscription. So just like my Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy.com. So I have most of my courses behind that membership. So as opposed to you guys paying, $9.97 for educated e-commerce and $197 for this or whatever, if you are a member, you spend $25 a month and you have access to all of the courses behind that membership wall at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Academy.com. Okay. So the benefit to you is you don't have to spend as much money. The benefit to me is I get a monthly subscription. Okay. So that's monthly recurring revenue. Okay. Another way to monetize is a joint venture. All right. So let's take my course, educatedecommerce.com. This is how a joint venture would work. Just say there's another podcast host out there that speaks to black entrepreneurs. They could reach out to me and say, hey, Jay, I'd love to offer your course if we do a joint venture. And normally a joint venture is usually a 50-50 revenue share. So what they would do is they would promote my course on their podcast, and anybody that purchased the course that came from that podcast, then he would get or she would get 50% of the actual sign up of the course. And that's a joint venture, which is a win-win. So that podcast host doesn't have to spend money to make money. All he's doing or she's doing is sharing that information with their audience. So that's what a joint venture is. And last but not least is cashing out. So say, for example, your website, your blog post, your blog site, or your YouTube channel, or your podcast is going crazy. You're getting tons of hit and you're getting tons of revenue each month. People will sell it, right? So, for example, Bleacher Report was sold for $175 million, I think in 2012, to Turner Broadcasting. Bleacher Report was a bunch of friends. It's bigger now. Was a bunch of friends that were reporting on, I think it was, they started out with the California Angels baseball. They were just reporting on that, writing articles, and then it started blossoming into other sports. And eventually Turner Broadcasting, TBS, Ted Turner, they bought it for $175 million. And this was just a bunch of guys right out of college that started blogging about the California Angels. So cashing out. So the multiple that most companies pay for digital media or media company is anywhere from 20 to 32 times the net revenue. Okay. So for example, if I'm netting $10,000 a month, say on my blog, right? So I'm getting affiliate sales. I'm selling my own products. I'm doing sponsored ads. I'm doing banner ads. I'm selling premium content. And if I gross whatever minus my expenses, that's my net revenue. So say my net revenue each month is $10,000. I could sell that business for 20 times to 32 times that $10,000, which is my multiple. All right. So $10,000 times a 20 or 32 multiple, anywhere in between. So if they give me a 20 times multiple, that would be $200,000 to sell that site. If they gave me the higher end, which is a 32 times multiple, that'd be 32 times 10,000. That would be $320,000 to sell that site or whatever it is, the podcast, blog, or whatever. Now, just imagine if you're doing $25,000 a month net at a 20 times multiple, that's $500,000 you can sell it for. At a 32 times multiple, it's $800,000 sale price. So that's how you can cash out. Usually 20 to 32 times. Okay, that's your net monthly revenue. And that's how people cash out. And once again, this is a long game. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. So it's about putting in the work, creating the platforms, making sure that you have the quality content that people are going to come and continue to see. Once again, your content can be your own content. Create new content. You can repurpose old content. You can combine content, or it could be a news or breaking news or date-based content. So, for example, like magazines back in the day, print magazines, because they couldn't be up to date, they were mainly called features magazines. So like Time, Essence, and all of that. You can't be right up to date with the breaking news. So you're going to focus on features. You're going to feature an article on such and such. You're going to feature something on this. So those are what's called featured magazines or featured content. You know, now, if you want to do date-based or breaking news, that's real tough. That means you got to be on point at all times. So it's tough to do that. But if you're in a space such as I use the barbecue grill, website in the example, that's something that's really not time-based. Okay, it's not date-based. Okay, that's somebody just talking about or putting content out there about barbecue grills. Doggington Post, once again, 142,000 views a month, making over $45,000 a month. There's no time constraints on putting content up about dogs. So you can create content just by combining different things. So have you ever gone to a YouTube channel and you want to look at highlights of one of your favorite football players? What you'll see is all you're going to see is splices put together of the highlights. You know, Mike Tyson's greatest knockouts, something like that. All it is highlights and spliced together Mike Tyson's knockouts. You could create a YouTube channel using Creative Commons. We're not going to get into that. But, you know, content that people don't mind you repurposing, you can create a YouTube channel just to that. How many people will watch America's Funniest Home Videos? AFV, right? America's Funniest Videos, whatever it is. And all it is clips of people, you know, falling down or whatever. Silly stuff. The show was created and it's been on for probably damn near 15 years. I don't know how long the show has been on. All it is content that's being curated and combined into one new product. So it's been repurposed. So you can literally create like the Drudge Report, DRUDGE report.com, which is just an aggregation of local political and national news and international news. And all they're doing is putting links directly to the sources. That's a media company. That's a micro media company. So once again, a micro media company owns one or several entities that either creates, repurposes, or combines content or breaking news or date-based content. That's all it is. And if you can create one, guess what? You can create multiple entities. And that's how these companies become large. You look at Breitbart, right? The right wing, you know, Breitbart.com, the right wing blog, right? All types of blogs out there. The Grio.com, TheGrio.com, TheRoot.com. Those are sites that bring together black news. Okay. And so that is a micro media company. Now you take that and you add a component, your social media components onto that. So thegrio.com will have a Facebook page. It'll have an Instagram page, Twitter page, and all of that stuff, which is going to help increase his reach, hopefully driving people back to the actual main content page. So that's it, family. It's why and how to build a micro media company for massive profits. This is part one. This is the why. Next week, episode 295, we're going to be doing part two, which is the how. That's the bread and butter, how to set it up. And the reason I wanted to separate the two guys was it was a lot of material. So you understand the why this is something. If you're looking for a long game, if you're looking to create income that's going to be there, if you're looking to build a database, if you're looking to build a foundation, being able to build a micro media company is where it's at. All right. It's new media out there, family. Recognize and understand that. Before we close on out, I say this each and every week. We get more and more downloads, and that's attributed to you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word. Once again, we're trying to get as large as we can so we can spread this message and this movement to all the black folk worldwide. We're downloaded, man, I can't even count, over 140, 50 countries right now. And once again, that's all because of you guys, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word because once again, we want to really focus on building an economic power base in the worldwide black economy. The worldwide black economy. There's no revolution without economics, family. Don't ever forget that. There's no revolution without economics. You got to have economics as the major component for you to be able to affect media, politics, education, and just life in general. How many times do we always have to try to depend on somebody else to do something for us? When we're generating just here in the States $1.3 trillion a year, which I believe is equivalent to the 8th largest country in the world. Problem is everything is scattered. We're not focused. We're not weaponizing our dollars. Weaponizing meaning focusing our dollars to benefit us. We're spending, only 2 cents of every dollar at black businesses. It's freaking ridiculous. 2 cents. Make a concerted and conscious effort every time you spend a freaking penny out of your pocket. Try to support black owned businesses. You're on the internet, you're on the phone, all playing on social media. Get on there and find a black business and do some business. Do some commerce online. All right. You want to learn how to do it? My new book, A New Black Wall Street. circulating the black dollar worldwide by building successful e-commerce businesses. anewblackwallstreet.com. Go and check it out, print version or the digital version. That is the whole philosophy behind this. Leveraging the technology. Black Wall Street in Tulsa and in in Durham, North Carolina, were physical places. In Tulsa, it was 36 square blocks. Right now, with today's economy, worldwide economy, is wide open. Leverage the technology. Start building black-owned businesses. Start supporting black-owned businesses. No revolution without economics. Also, last but not least, if you're in Charlotte, family, come and check me out. State of Black Charlotte. Go to stateofblackcharlotte2020.com. Eventbrite. stateofblackcharlotte2020.eventbrite.com. Saturday, March 14th from 11 to 5, I'll be talking about how to build a successful six-figure business. Love you guys. I'll see you same time next week. Peace.